from Fox Akimbo. OnlyFans outrageous controversies. Bro, I have a feeling I'm gonna get banned off this video. Am I gonna get banned? Am I gonna get banned? Crazy stories? Bro, it has to be wild. You know the scary thing I see? Bro, the corn industry is so wild to me. Like, all the things I've learned. Like, for example, the hub. Well, it was the hub, right? That was hosting. There was a certain point where there was a lot of circulating CP on the hub. The biggest website, right? Circulating around that. And I think there's a lawsuit or something. There was a lawsuit or something like that that happened. But I feel like a lot of that stuff is really hard to regulate at certain times. You guys are saying, huh, and what's? No, trust me, it happened. It happens on TikTok too. Oh yeah, we know. We know. Trust and believe. TikTok is. But there was that certain point when TikTok was first popping off. When wild, bro, you literally. Oh my god. I can't even talk about how bad TikTok is. There would be videos of like it could just be like a kid. Literally a kid or something. It could be like a little girl playing with a doll or saying like a joke or something on camera or whatever. And then all the comments are there like weirdos. They're like, is it pink? Is it pink? Y'all forgot about the is it pink? I'm never forgetting about that. I'm never forgetting about that. Is it pink? Oh, I want to see it. I want to see it. I'm telling y'all, it was legit like that. It was legit like that. It was crazy stuff like that in the comments. You could probably still find it now. Anyways, let's start the video.
August 2020, when famous actress and singer
was the worst
Bella
opinion?
Thorne joined
the
adult subscription service OnlyFans. Though when the news broke to the public, there was a large outcry attacking the then 22-year-old who had gained over 50,000 followers in her first week. This earned her an estimated $2 million after OnlyFans' 20% cut.
Oh my god. And they take a 20% cut? Wait, that's actually pretty good. Because you know what they're paying us right now on Twitch.
A high takeaway for sure, but many people thought that this was blood money. You see, what the former Disney Channel star failed to keep in mind was that to many of the people who created content for the service, it was a very delicate ecosystem. And when a famous
Bella Thorne's OnlyFans shows the damage of gentrifying sex work? What? When the actress made $2 million in her first week on the platform, she unwittingly harmed the livelihoods of the smaller creators on the subscription service. Couldn't you quite literally say this about anything? Like when a big celebrity comes on YouTube and they gain like, for example, when Jack Black, I remember, I think it was 2020 or something, he first came on YouTube, he's uploading videos and stuff. People were really excited because it's Jack Black. He's the GOAT. It's Jack Black. Like imagine YouTubers came together and they were like, he's taking away from us smaller creators. He should be banned. It's shameful. This is so stupid. Don't get canceled. What am I gonna get canceled for? This don't make any sense. Hey there, Tommy NFG here. Just a little reminder to make sure to subscribe because only about 30% of you guys watching this are actually subscribed. Also tune into the Twitch streams every once in a while. You know, we have a lot of fun there. There's a lot of fun that goes on there. So I'm ending it right here. Let's get back to the video.
Celebrities such as Thorne joined the site, they claimed that it disrupted the market. Many made the point that she didn't exactly need the estimated $2 million a month.
You could literally say that about anything. You could literally say that about anybody. You could say that about billionaires. They don't need the money they have.
And those 50,000 followers could have better spread out that $2 million.
Who the fuck is about doing former Disney Channel actress that went to OnlyFans and essentially gentrified the platform and messed with the sex worker landscape on it just to cash out and leave? Sounds like a lot of broke niggas to me that didn't get their shit popping. Well, guess what? It's not even that hard to do it. This is what you need to do. I'm gonna give all the OF girls a hack real quick. Because now I'm on Twitter. I see that. All these OF girls, what they do, especially with Twitter accounts, they pay like large meme accounts on Twitter to like retweet their OF tweets. And they be making a bag.
$1 to other creators.
I don't even like Bella Thorne either.
More. Which, speaking of those 50,000 followers, they weren't too happy either, as they had spent their money believing that they would get the full Monty, if you know what I mean.
Oh, okay. That's kind of crazy though. I'm not gonna lie. I actually learned that recently. Like there's a lot of girls on OF that don't really do any, you know what I'm saying, birthday suit content. They're just like
shout out to the people
doing clothing content, clothed content.
People who have seen that movie.
Which I'm not gonna lie, if you're subscribing for clothed content, that makes it even worse. That makes it even worse.
But when they found out that the content that they would get was instead lewd lingerie photos.
Okay, the thing is, if she said it before, why did somebody said shake it up? Then I'll be like, all right. If she announces after, that's bad. That's bad.
And not the full deal, they wanted refunds. With all of these having to be given, game processing costs and time wasted for the service, and so OnlyFans actually came in with some reforms following this. I'm not an OnlyFans expert in the slightest, but I believe that came in with some
Damn.
reforms following this. I'm not an OnlyFans expert in the slightest, but I believe that you can now only charge
Some of you on this
$50
chat
for
are definitely
exclusive content, and tips are capped at $100. This disheartened many creators because these issues now came at an expense to them by a celebrity who many of them think didn't really understand the struggle or the culture around sex work. Many workers also claimed that their paychecks have been delayed as a result.
Okay, I might just, maybe I'm a little bit out of touch with this world because, you know, maybe I'm a little bit more of a God-given man, right, with faith, but what do you mean culture? What do they mean by culture? Can anybody explain to me? Any fiends in here that know what the culture is? What does that have to do? What does that have to do with posting a pic of your tatas or punani or your schlong? Schlong, by the way, either way. I'm saying either way. Like, what is the culture? The entire culture is horny men? True, that's what I think it is.
Result of this.
You're just capitalizing on the same
claimed
people.
that these caps were not in response to Bella Thorne and they had actually been in the pipeline for a while, but the timing was very coincidental. Of course, many people did back Bella Thorne, saying that she was well within her rights to use this service, but Bella Thorne came out with a response that was rather strange. She responded by saying that she was actually making a movie directed by Sean Baker that revolved around this subject matter, and that she was intending to donate a portion of the money that she had generated to charity. However, Sean Baker, the person that was allegedly going to direct this thing, adamantly denied that any such collaboration would take place. And
she lied about it? Okay, that's wild. That's wild.
2 years later, it still hasn't. To this day, it's to my belief that Bella Thorne is still on the service. And
she made it free? Oh! Yo, I know the motherfuckers that paid $50 are sick. She made it free after getting her bag.
Heat has obviously since reduced. I'd be interested to hear what you guys think about this one. Do you think that we should be gatekeeping who's allowed on OnlyFans or not? Bella Thorne claimed that she wanted to destigmatize.
Bro, gatekeeping corn is crazy. Like I said, I respect, you know what I'm saying, all the people doing, you know what I'm saying, right? But gatekeeping? That's just ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's something that people do, like unhinged anime fans do to their favorite anime and anime characters.
Sex work, but when you're charging $200 for some of your services, there's clearly a financial incentive for someone who's already worth like $10 million. And this apparently had a negative impact for some of the other workers, but at the same time, hey, she should be allowed to if she wants to, right? So, I don't know, let me know what you think down in the comments. So that's just one of the many stories I have for you in this video, where we're going to be talking about everybody's favorite subscription service. Let me clarify, because this is important. This video is not meant to slander the people who work on the platform, nor is it meant to defend them. Whether this kind of thing is poison for society or liberation for sex workers, I'm not focused on that. What I will be focused on though is exposing the dark realities that reside within the platform, because there are some interesting.
Mother of 3 says her sons were expelled from Catholic school because of her OnlyFans account. Now, see, the thing about this news story is, bro, it's a Catholic school. Like, I wouldn't think the priests will look at it, right? And just be like, okay, it's good for your kids to be here. Like, that goes against a lot of what they do, but, like, it's a Catholic school. What did she suspect? That's what I'm saying. Like, how'd they find the account? Now, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. Put a fucking timer on that shit. That's wow.
Cases. And I think you guys
the priest just needed to, all they need to do is pray the sins away after though.
To come out of this video having learnt a lot about it, so with that said, let's just get into it. Let's go. Now, speaking of Bella Thorne upsetting the OnlyFans ecosystem, I want to take a moment now to talk about the ecosystem itself. I don't really know if I call this one as much of a controversy or a scandal as I would a reality check. Okay. So this was a study conducted on OnlyFans a short while ago. It was conducted in April 2020, and I think it's about high time that I throw out some audience participation to you. So here's a question. How much money do you think that the average person who creates content on OnlyFans will make in 1 month?
Average person? Bruh, okay, surprisingly, here's the thing. About OnlyFans earnings, like, every time I see a person that does it, like their bio and stuff, like, I'll just look at their bio, right? And they'll be like they're in top 0.1%. Bitch, is all y'all 1.0 or 0.1%? Is all of them in 0.1%? I swear, every single person I see, it always says they're in top 0.1% or something. But actually, on average, y'all are saying 100K, 10K, 20K. Actually, I don't know. On average, it's pretty low. It's pretty low. It's like, you start actually, like, OnlyFans is literally like being a SoundCloud rapper for sex workers. It's basically the same thing. That's the perfect analogy, because you start from nothing. You have to build up your credibility, and so a lot of them, they really don't be making a lot like that. Only the people at the top be making a lot.
Down in the comments, and if you're correct, I'll give you the D's to my channel. Pause the video right now if you want to play along, because I'm about to tell you the answer is $180 a month.
I told y'all.
I was personally quite surprised when I found this out, because that's not enough for rent. That's nowhere near enough so you could quit your job and go full time with it. Now again, I'm not having a go here. If you think this is the right choice for you, nobody should stop you from doing it, provided everything's legal and considered. But if you're the average creator here, $180 is all you'll make. I'm just going to let this part of the video play out with the facts that have been presented to me and subsequently to you. This study found that the top 1% of accounts generate 33% of the platform's
that was the stat. That was the stat.
Revenue. The top 10% of
Side
creators account for 73%.
I'm sorry, but it's not even a side hustle. 183 a month. You can make more working more hours in your job. I mean, I guess it is a side hustle. It makes sense. And I'm not even saying that to not do it. But like, I don't know if you could account that enough to be a side hustle.
3% of the platform's revenue, and based off the study, some people might actually lose money when doing it. These are the cold hard facts, like them or not, so unless you're in that top 10% or so,
see, this is insane. Number of creators, monthly revenue.
That it's not economically viable to do it full time.
Left side is almost
especially
zero.
Because
most of it's zero.
Even within the bottom 50%.
I don't think I've ever seen any other social media have a graph like this.
As you can see on this graph, getting more than $100 a month is slightly uncommon. It goes on to say that to break even on OnlyFans, creators need to earn more per month than the cost of hours spent engaging. The median take-home revenue is $136 a month, and so if you value a creator's time at say $15 an hour, the median creator needs to be spending less than 9 hours a month on OnlyFans to break even. There might be a bit of hope, however, as this data does not take tipping into account because the information has never been released to the public. So hypothetically, you could be a person with extremely loyal followers that tip generously.
Oh my god, you know the worst part, guys? You know the worst part about messages? I think most people know, like, you can message people and stuff, like message the people and they can message back. These girls, well, let me just say workers overall, but these workers will be hiring, sex workers, they be hiring people to just work on the messages. So if you're a dude sitting here spending $1,900 for sending a single message, you get a respondent from some fucking random dude
and still make a living wage.
Bro,
admittedly, this is unlikely, so although OnlyFans can spell freedom and liberation to some, especially if you're in that top 10% where some serious money can be made, well, if you're just the average creator, it's probably best not to quit your day job just yet, especially because the life of an OnlyFans creator can be very, very unstable. Speaking of which, let's take things back a little over a year now to August of 2021, when it was revealed that there would be a ban on suggestive or explicit content being uploaded to the site. And it was revealed that there would be a ban on suggestive or explicit content being uploaded to the site.
Oh my god, this was when they banned. What? I want to get in the board of directors who thought this was a good idea. I remember this. They really tried to ban. What were they thinking? Just what were they thinking? OF girls were in shambles. Shambles. They was scared. There was dead ass girls making videos like, what's my next career? What am I going in the next day? And the worst part is they reversed it like a solid like a week after.
Now, major criticism was levied against it because if you know one thing about the platform, it's that suggestive and explicit content is kind of what it's known for, right? Yep. But it seems that at least for a moment there, the higher-ups or maybe some investors wanted a change. Originally, OnlyFans seemed like the perfect place for this kind of stuff because it had a slick interface and a loose content policy. And so many people went over there to try and use it to make money, but upon hearing the news, well, it was a worry for a lot of people. EO Tim Stokely would come out and say, "The change in policy, we had no choice. The short answer is banks," which seems to allude to a financial incentive.
No, stop. You think the bank, bro, that is making the money, is going to come up to you to stop making the money? The banks need you to send them money so they can put it in there and make more money out of your money. Why would they tell you, nah, close the business, stop the business model, we don't need your money?
Rather than a genuine want of change in direction. Stokely would name 3 banks that refuse service with OnlyFans because of the content on the platform. Those being the Bank of New York Mellon, Metro Bank, and JP Morgan Chase.
Bro, irrelevant other than Chase, irrelevant ass banks.
Those being the Bank
The hell? This shit is named after a watermelon, but it's misspelled. It's misspelled. Nobody cares
New
about
York
this.
Mellon, Metro Bank, and JP Morgan.
And nobody know what a metro isn't the metro the subway?
Stokely's service was not the first platform to have a
Who's using
crackdown on
Chase?
sexual content, and surely it will not be the last. However, after some backlash, they gave it a second thought and reconsidered their actions.
Yeah,
if
really?
people didn't know about the platform before, they certainly would know about it now, because
the
this
banks.
news was covered all
banks.
over the internet.
What happened to the banks?
The deal was that OnlyFans was
They don't want the money.
realistically solely an adult service. Yes, some people did cooking on there or small little bits and bobs like that,
no-
but
Hold up. That's actually kind of cute.
Yes, some people
That's kind of
did
cute.
cook-
What is that, Chef Sean Wilder? I think
cooking
Sean
on there or
Wilder.
small little bits and bobs like that, but realistically everyone knows that the adult content is the most common thing up there.
Yeah.
There's a chance that Stokely realised that
fire,
it's
though.
probably better to have a platform that's not allowed to use a few banks than a platform that's about to lose 95% of its user base. So in the end, a reverse in fact did come to a sigh of relief for the platform's creators. Now these creators were able to keep their jobs, but many in the same field aren't as lucky. For
What?
example, an individual known online as Chloe, who in real life was an Arizonan science teacher, or perhaps former science teacher, because it was reported a few months back that she was going to be given a sack after filming some of her videos for the platform inside her own classroom.
Oh nah. Oh yeah, nah. This bitch deserves anything she got. Imagine being in class. Imagine being in class. Y'all know those big science tables and shit. Like whenever you're in, what was it? I remember when I was in high school. It was always those biology tables, like the black tables with the wood bottoms. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And you just sit at that table and you're like, wait, what's that smell? What's that smell? And it's your fucking teacher's 1 day old sex waft from the day before.
She was filming these
couldn't wait
videos
for her,
with her
she was
husband,
desperate.
but both of her employed professions would soon cut ties with the woman as she was fired from her teaching job and banned from OnlyFans. You might be
I mean,
wondering just
yeah,
how was she
makes
caught?
sense.
And the answer was that she was actually promoting her content on Instagram and TikTok, each of which are
Not
obviously
surprised.
accessible to the public.
Not surprised.
A number of her students must have been following her on at least one of these social media platforms though, as they got a taste of the content that she was providing, noticing that their desks featured
Bro, oh my god, I wish some shit like this happened in my school. I remember something happened in my school where it was in middle school, and one of the security guards, they got caught or something. All the students found out, like there was a security guard, and he was in some type of rapper music video. I don't know what it was, but like there was girls twerking on him. It was like in a strip club or something. And when the school found out, my middle school, it was wild. And the principal found out, and he got fired. We never saw him again. I don't even know if he got fired. We just never saw him again after a day.
as props in this particular movie, and not long after, the story spread like wildfire.
This is like if this happened in my school, it'd be top tier memories. Like there's always top tier
Pia
memories.
was
like
relieved
this.
from her position as a school teacher. She claimed that she was only doing it to support her family, but this argument was of no use, as once the news broke publicly, her OnlyFans account was taken away from her, and the people that subscribed to her were refunded. The reason that they took her account away is still technically unconfirmed, though it's heavily theorized that it's because she filmed in the classroom. You see, the platform has an acceptable use policy, which clearly states that users should not record in or broadcast from a public space when members of the public are reasonably likely to see the activities being performed. Obviously, by filming this content where she did, she was breaching this.
Janitor was trying to
She's
have
since
fun.
come out with an apology video which has been subject to tremendous amounts of backlash.
Oh my god, apology video. Why would you even, you don't need an apology video, you dumb stupid bitch. You don't need an apology video. There's nothing to apologize. You should have just took your L and stayed quiet.
Human, and humans make mistakes and all the rest, but the comments of this video were just not buying it. I've also heard this wild story that she has a revenge plan put in place for her former friend who snitched on her. I assume that her former friend had probably a son who saw Chloe Carter's OnlyFans and then told his mother about it, and then from there, his mother told the rest of the parents.
Okay, hold up. That doesn't even make any sense. That doesn't even make any sense. Bro, if y'all saw some shit like that about your teacher, you're telling your mom? I love my mom. I'm very close to my mom. That's never happening. That is never happening. This is so dumb.
Apparently, her former friend, now turned enemy, has a food truck that isn't doing too well financially, and so Chloe Carter plans on buying this food truck and then shooting an OnlyFans video in the food truck. What? I mean, I guess...
I guess you could say it's more than people's mouths getting filled with food at the food truck.
Everyone knows that revenge is a dish best served hot and steamy. Carter has since moved on to Fansly, where she is currently active. By the way, I should put a little disclaimer for that past story and some of the others that we're about to get into. Please do not attack any of the people that I feature in this video. Even if it's tempting, even if some of these people definitely went over the line, can we please show some restraint?
Yeah, we won't,
But with that out of the way, let's move on to a somewhat similar case. From land to sea, we're turning our attention now to the British Royal Navy to talk about a creator known as Callie, who is apparently creating OnlyFans content on board a top secret nuclear base. This news broke to the British media in early February of
for a second, I was Andrew Tate. Nigga, this is Andrew Late. This is Andrew. This is no hustle Andrew.
2021, and the story goes that she, as well as her lover who is in the same profession, filmed their content in the Faslane nuclear submarine headquarters, which is reported to be located near Glasgow. When this was discovered, a Navy source is quoted as saying, "The commanders can't believe it. There could be all kinds of security risks involved." What was
Yo, imagine they're doing their thing. They're doing their thing, right? And they accidentally like press like a nuclear button or something. And that's how the world ends. That'd be such a goofy ass way for the world to end. Like one of them accidentally like tries to grip back or something, and they press the giant red button, and the nuke sends out. Or they release like top secret files.
Was that to get to the top level of security clearance where she was at, she would have previously been vetted. It's claimed that she would have been grilled about her intimate life as part of procedure. This wouldn't stop her though from using the £1 billion vessel that she was stationed in as the location for a number of her videos. When confronted with the accusations, she immediately confessed that yes, this was what she had been doing. Her bosses were extremely concerned that if the wrong hands got a hold of this content, it could have been used as the subject of blackmail, thus could have been a security breach. Fortunately, the war in Ukraine hadn't started yet, and I've been told by a top secret, totally real source that Putin didn't get his grubby little hands on this stuff. Though he might have got his hands on a second creator's content, because right after this news story broke, it was revealed that another member of the Royal Navy was creating OnlyFans content. Known only as Izzy, it was reported that her face was never revealed, but she did at one point pose for a photo draped.
Bro, where is this? This is in Russia, right?
But with that out of the way, let's move on to a somewhat similar case.
Oh, was it the UK Navy?
From land to sea, we're turning our attention now to the British Royal Navy to talk about—
Oh yeah, it was. Okay. What? 2 times? This is why the UK is never beating the allegations of being the UK.
Known only as Izzy, it was reported that her face was never revealed, but she did at one point pose for a photo draped on top of a Royal Navy flag. So it's thought that the original case was not an isolated incident, and perhaps these workers were aware of each other. However, compared to our last case with Chloe Carter, not too much is known about these incidents because, as comes with the territory, the Royal Navy will probably want to keep this hush. They don't want to reveal too much information. Especially because at least one of these women were working aboard a top secret nuclear submarine. And so, at least for now, these stories have come to a close.
Okay.
On the topic of someone who got in huge trouble for their OnlyFans, let's talk about Katie Price, who only a few months ago risked arrest after shooting a saucy video in Thailand. If you don't know who Katie Price is,
isn't sex illegal in Thailand, or am I tripping? Didn't we just read that in a news story? Like, sex is illegal, or non-married sex. Wait, why the fuck would sex be illegal? Holy shit, y'all need to correct me on shit. I'm brain dead.
She used to be very big in the modeling world, frequently appearing on page 3 of The Sun. Let me tell you that The Sun is by far and away the worst British newspaper.
What did that just say?
3 of The Sun. Let me tell you that The Sun—
I slept with 1,000 men, but I used— no, I can say something. Bro, even if it's a man, it don't matter, bro. Man or woman, 1,000? You have to actively, like— I don't even know how to explain it. That has to actively— you have to be actively doing that. If you slept with one person every day, it would still take you 3 years and some change.
Is by far and away the worst British newspaper, and page 3 is traditionally reserved for a fully naked model. It was the kind of thing that people got off to before OnlyFans existed, probably the most sexist thing I've ever seen in my life, but it just made sense that when something like OnlyFans did come into existence, Katie Price would move there. She also went on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here,
bro, what's up with these UKians and these tans?
Reality/game show, and then she married Peter Andre, best known for his—
Look at this, even his skin! I can't tell, I don't know if this is just the way I'm looking at it. Even his skin! It's crazy. The power it takes them to reach our potential. My potential, bro. Look at me. They really be trying to look like me. Come on now. I do this naturally, bitch.
Song Mysterious Girl. She's definitely lived
Only
quite the
Essex?
life, but she would risk it all when she announced that she was going to be
That's right.
shooting an OnlyFans video in Thailand, which apparently has some very strict rules when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Apparently, tourists do quite often get arrested in the country and sometimes face a long jail time if put
3
behind bars.
years?
In the case of Katie, she had apparently gone topless in the country on a beach years prior, back in 2018, and apparently this is illegal. But I couldn't
Thai's
verify my
governor
source,
or
so please
president
do
wasn't
take
too
it
happy
with a
that.
grain of salt. For this kind of video that Katie Price wanted to make though, I could verify
Whoa. This was the guy? The shirt? Online trolls should be prosecuted. Hashtag Harvey's Law. Hey, I mean, he made it. He made it.
that the trade,
Gotta have the most
importation,
risk.
production, or distribution of this particular type of video could be faced with up to 3 years in prison,
Oh God,
or the
jump scare.
equivalent of a £2,000 fine. This news story broke a few months ago now,
2,000?
but it's to my belief that Katie Price is not behind bars unless she's making her OnlyFans content inside a Thai prison cell. So despite the controversy with Thai laws, anything more serious has fortunately been avoided. On the topic of breaking laws, let's turn our attention to a British woman known on OnlyFans as Billy Louise, who in May of last year was found flashing drivers on the motorway. The 27-year-old was filmed on top of a bridge
I swear to God, if I see this case right now and she doesn't get prosecuted, I'll be pissed.
in Kent, lifting up her top and exposing her upper
Oh
half to
my
motorists,
God.
many of which complained that this made it especially difficult to focus on the road. Billy, on the other hand, would take pride in her actions,
Whoa. Hold on now, brother. Hold on. Wait.
tweeting out later that day,
We had fun today on the bridge, and I think the lorry drivers liked it.
Thankfully, no crashes were reported due to this incident, but after this news went public, the general populace had some criticism to air, arguing that if it was a man flashing, the story would be different. This was technically
I'm tired of saying that at this point, but yeah. I mean,
decent exposure, self-promotion or not. Of course, not everyone was critical of Billy though.
Jump scare.
After looking her up for research purposes, I found this tweet from Redneck Token who said, "As an American lorry driver, I'd like to say thank you for your service."
oh nah. You know what was his name? His name is probably fucking Cletus goddamn redneck fuck.
Andy FR Mumlets who said, "Holy moly, those are perfect."
Oh nah.
So Billy Louise
Yeah, I'm telling y'all right now, go to any OF girls thing and like they'll put something like, they'll put something or whatever. See all the down bad guys in the comments. Public Twitter accounts with their full face and name. They're sitting there like, oh my God, yes, mommy. Oh my God, I want to mommy. Like it's wild. I'm telling you, it's wild. I've seen it. It is bad.
Louise's followers clearly
No
didn't
shame,
mind,
yep, no
and
shame.
Louise herself actually came out to defend her
seen it with my
actions.
eyes.
She says that she pays council tax to children on benefits, and, you know, she makes the lorry driver's days just that little bit better, so
No.
no harm, no foul. Reports stated that she could have faced upwards of 2 years behind bars if found guilty, though based on her Instagram having been active last week, this hasn't happened, and since it didn't cause a crash, it would be hard to justify such a lengthy sentence.
fine?
She has reaped the rewards of this stunt though, having exploded in popularity like many of the other women that
I'm
we've
not
spoken
surprised.
about today. And so in a video where so many of these women are losing their jobs, I would say that Billy Louise walked away with a win here. The
She
same,
did get the
however,
win, though.
could not be said about a Californian mother whose children
So no fine. I mean, a fine was like at least like the minimum. I'm not even gonna say it anymore. We all know the statement.
were expelled from their
We all know the
Catholic
statement I'm gonna
school
say.
after the
If it
board
was-
found her OnlyFans page. This story dates back to 2021 with a woman known as Miss Poindexter.
The least
She
punishment.
claims that after her page was discovered, it was only 24 hours later that she found out that her children
Oh, yeah,
would
it
not be
is.
allowed back in school. So they weren't even allowed back in to say goodbye to their friends or pick up their belongings. Miss Poindexter, who reportedly earned $150,000 a month from her profile, began the page
That
after
is
wanting to spice things up in
insane.
her romantic life with her husband. But after rising through the platform's rankings, it would come at the cost of her 3 children being banished from their school. She allegedly received an email from the school.
Oh my God, you gotta be. Oh my God, look. Hey, Lucas, Caden. I'm just making up these names. I don't know their name. Braden. One of these niggas is gonna grow up as a villain. I'm waiting for that time, and I feel like it's starting to happen. Give it 5 or 10 years, kids is gonna be getting roasted at the lunch table for their moms having OFs. Not that I blame them. I'm not blaming the kids. I'm not even blaming the mom. It's just society. It's how it works.
her 3 children being banished from their
Mom
school.
jokes will be endless for them.
She
They can't say
allegedly
anything.
received an email from
Nothing.
the school which read, "Your apparent quest for high-profile controversy in support of your adult website is in direct conflict with what we hope to impart to our students.
Damn.
We therefore require that you find another school for your children and have no further association with ours."
Damn, and those kids are sick because you know damn well their whole class found out about that. Their whole class found out about that. All their friends are probably texting them about it too. I don't know what the
This all
dude's name is.
started after a parent of one of the students at the school found her page,
Kids are
and
ruthless.
shortly after a campaign was launched against her, which would eventually get its wishes. It's been reported that the dads at the school knew about her page a lot longer than the mums did, which makes sense. According to a highly reputable source, the Lad Bible, one of these dads broke man code, and then the secret became public knowledge. He was definitely caught checking out the page.
Nah, this nigga snitched on the dad group? How dare you? On the dad group? He broke dad code. Dad code. All the dads knew. All the dads knew. They wasn't saying anything.
By his wife.
Not
That
cool.
is absolutely what happened. The school board has declined to comment on the
That
matter,
group chat
but
got
Mrs.
re-
Poindexter has since said that she wished to enroll her students in another Catholic school, but was worried that because of her
Oh yeah,
line
no, they're
of
gonna
work,
find out.
she
I don't
might
know why
get
she won again.
blacklisted.
She won double.
Though, if you're worried for Mrs. Poindexter, there was a silver lining to this story, which was that this only proved to bolster her online presence.
Oh, yeah.
So despite
I
the
remember hearing about
expulsion, there were some positives for her family. Though education boards are not the only groups that would blacklist those they disagree with. Did you know that last year, OnlyFans was accused of blacklisting their enemies? So this story is set in February of 2022, when it was reported on several highly reputable news sources, including the BBC, that OnlyFans was accused of conspiring to blacklist their rivals. The article wrote, "Legal documents previously unreported claim OnlyFans directed an unidentified social media company to disable accounts of performers by placing their content on a terrorism database." So there is a lot to unpack here.
Terrorism? Where are we going with this? One of them post a video like of their punani blowing up or something? Fucking mean terrorism.
First of all, you must be wondering, who was this unidentified social media company? As it turns out, it was old man Meta, and it would have gotten away with it too if it
IG?
weren't for you meddling whistleblowers. Allegedly.
Okay, nobody calls him Meta, in all due respect. IG.
Meta reportedly
Instagram?
put 20,000 adult content creators on a terrorism database, which is just mad. Straight up, that is creators on a
More
terrorism.
than 20,000 content creators placed on international terrorist database following bribes. Oh nah, that is evil. What the fuck they gotta do? Wait, they couldn't have at least put them on something more simpler, like a risk or something, like a little small risk terrorism.
Database, which is just mad. Straight up, that is bonkers.
That is
this
wild.
news broke
That's-
because OnlyFans was being sued
What?
by another adult
I can't
content
even
service,
process that.
Fancentro, in response to it being found out. So clearly someone believes that this story, as wild as it is in fact true. This lawsuit alleges that the bribes were paid by OnlyFans back in 2018. The Independent wrote, "OnlyFans highlighted their profiles to Meta, who then allegedly submitted their names into a database managed by the Global Internet Forum to Counter Terrorism known as the GIFCT. Now, the GIFCT is used by a number of the largest social media brands like Facebook, Snapchat,
Bro, I'm tripping. I thought we was talking about CS:GO.
and YouTube, as it alerts them to potentially harmful content that's being spread
On their
so
villain
that
shit?
these guys can make sure that it's never seen by people. But if these allegations are true, if they could have been corrupted by OnlyFans as to shadow ban rival adult content creators, well, that is indeed a scary thought. For a long time now, adult content creators have voiced their annoyance at their accounts being blocked and banned from different social media sites to different levels of validity. I mean, each social media platform is going to have...
Okay, hold up. There's no way the OF workers, sex workers, are really surprised that when you post a video of you shaking your tatas on a platform like TikTok or IG or whatever, where it's not really meant for that they're kind of gonna be more on your ass about that.
Have a terms of service box that tells you exactly what is or isn't allowed on there, and a lot of the time the kind of content that they wish to upload simply isn't allowed. But if we're saying that these adult creators are being blacklisted even when their content is fit within the rules, well then that's a different story, isn't it? And if you're looking for a different set of stories, then you could check out my video on the darkest depths of the ASMR community. It deals with a few of the same...
Okay, it's over. That was a great video. That was actually a really good video. Okay, look, I just wanted to watch that because it was mainly, my thought was mainly, the corn industry is just so bad from what I've heard. It's just a really bad industry to be in. Look, y'all stay safe. Y'all stay safe, okay?